He is the CEO and founder of MasRefund.com, the first AI/ML smartphone e-filing tax return app dedicated to the underserved Hispanic community. He's a published author, public speaker, Gestalt therapist, and former founder and CEO of Help Me Now, a pioneer in teleclinical healthcare. As founder and CEO of Anamika Recovery Center, a California state-licensed inpatient program, he brought awareness about addiction and treatment solutions to the Indian American community and garnered a nomination as Sony Entertainment South Asian Person of the Year. He's also the ambassador for the Raleigh-Durham chapter of Bunker Labs, a not-for-profit where veteran experienced entrepreneurs help veteran entrepreneurs. Please welcome Simon Karmarkar.
Thank you for having me. I'd like all of us to do an experiment. I'd like all of us to come on a journey with me. We're all ambassadors of America, and we're going to embark and traverse the horizons of a new land. This new country promises a life brimming with prosperity and an elevated lifestyle. It has traditions rich in tapestry of postmodern TikTok wisdom, vibrant cultures, and different languages. Underneath this idyllic nation, though, is a complex system of financial access that is intricately tied to one's economic class. But since we are ambassadors of America, one thing we're good at is shining a light on another country's disparities. And so we're going to go in and educate them on the importance of democratizing access to financial tools. So first we'll start off with what is financial inclusion and why it matters. It's equitable access to the usage of financial products and financial tools, regardless of their income level or socioeconomic status. Everyone should have access to tools and opportunities in the formal financial system. Democratizing FinTech is the process of making financial technology solutions accessible, affordable, and user-friendly for a broad range of individuals, particularly those who are underserved and under-resourced. Democratizing FinTech holds the potential to bridge this gap, offering innovative solutions that can empower individuals and communities to better manage their finances, build wealth, and achieve economic stability. So what are some of the barriers? One is lack of access. For example, in America, 82% of the Hispanic population doesn't have access to broadband or PCs. Limited or no credit history is another barrier to accessing some of the cutting-edge financial tools. Exclusion. Minority populations, particularly Black and Hispanic communities, face disparities in access to banking services and have disproportionately affected by predatory lending practices. Same-day check cashing places charging anywhere from 18 to 86% interest rates on something like refund advance loans. The role of democratizing access includes expanding access regardless of one's location, whether it's rural or urban. Customization. Let's offer some of these FinTech tools that are in language. Affordability. They don't have to have X number of dollars, X number of income in order to access the financial tools. And finally, financial literacy plays a very big role in the responsibility of creating opportunities and accessibility. So what are some of the benefits? Economic empowerment. We can elevate the entire demographic group by educating them on concepts of saving. There is a generational disproportionate distrust in the governments, primarily from where they came from. And that distrust continues into America, for example. So we want to educate them on the concept of investing. It leads to reduction in poverty, increases opportunities through entrepreneurship, and then overall economic growth. So that is the reason why we want to include financial inclusion and have access for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Questions for Simon? Right over here.
Simon, thank you. Councilmember Steve Rao, town of Morrisville. I've met you before at the NCID event, so thanks for your great work. My question is around India. I'd like to get your perspective about India. Today, India has about 1.2 billion with the mobile app. They made significant strides, even though they have a long way to go. How is the nation of India moving so fast in this? Because it seems like they've come so far in such a relatively short period of time. Is that something we can learn about in the U.S. in terms of their digital plan for financial?
I'm sorry, can you just repeat the last part of that question?
I just wanted, India is making a lot of, I was at an event in Washington where the ambassador of India said that India today has 1.2 billion with a digital identity. So literally they're able to get people financial access that 4 to 5 years ago they didn't have. Is that something in our country or that your app is trying to address, is quickly bringing people on board in this kind of digital transformation?
In U.S., you're saying? Yeah, absolutely. I think each of these administrations, as they're coming through, there's a big push towards bringing broadband to rural communities. I think offering language-specific solutions is going to be a big push towards bringing all these communities to our economic spectrum.
Other questions? We'll go back here.
Hi. Do you have any advice on educating teenagers on financial literacy?
Do I have any advice on what? I'm sorry?
Educating teenagers on financial literacy?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's actually a whole plethora of new apps that are coming in that are educating teenagers on the importance of saving, importance of building credit, importance of investing. And I think once we start at that very young age, like when I was in high school, there was absolutely zero information. Even when I went through basic training, we spent 4 hours on financial literacy and basic training. So many of our military people who are serving in the military are absolutely clueless on some of the basic principles and discipline behind saving and investing.
Other questions?
I think I have one over here.
Thank you. Yes, I don't want to neglect this side of the room.
Hi. So I'm really interested. This is amazing for the. Hold it closer, actually. Closer?
Yeah.
This is amazing for the tax filings, but most people who are struggling with filing their taxes are also underbanked or even unbanked, and that's not just an issue in the U.S. Is that something that you're also looking at helping them manage? And I mean, because that's been an ongoing problem, and I know a lot of FinTech companies around the world have been looking into it, but I don't think anybody's really captured the market or resolved that problem yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first step in, especially working with the Hispanic demographic group in America, is building trust. And so there's so much distrust towards governmental or quasi-governmental agencies, including distrust towards some of the legacy brands. I'm sure you guys have read in the newspaper last week, I think, H&R Block was fined again for the bait and switch, right? They said that you could file your taxes for free, but as you're going through the process and they're charging you, and then you just spend 8 hours trying to figure out how to use this software, you give up and you pay whatever it is they're asking for. So a lot of that distrust comes in from a lack of transparency. And then the next step after you build that trust is launching financial products for the unbanked, where that they don't have to go to some place like a same-day check cashing places and pay 18 to 86% interest rate on their hard-earned money, right? These are refund advance loans. So they've already overpaid Uncle Sam. Why have they overpaid? It's a result of, again, financial literacy. They don't know that they can make adjustments to the W-4 and they can actually put that money in their pocket every pay period. So yeah, these are stepping stones to get there.
One more question for Simon.
Hi. So talking about financial trust, what is your perception on applications like Acorn, where they automatically throw money into an investment account or a savings account? And the reason why I want to bring that into trust is you can see that individuals with the commodity like their finances being a micromanager, if you will, of that and wanting to have ultimate control of that. What do you see in the FinTech community where this is automated in bringing into a savings account or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, the studies that I've seen and the conversations that I've had, more within the minority population want control over the decision-making of how to invest. The challenge becomes is that because there is financial illiteracy, and something like crypto is the shiny object, and so we want to kind of also take measures to prevent self-harm. And so one way of preventing self-harm is by saying that, look, we're going to guide you through this process, and then we're going to encourage you to invest in a fund, like a year 2050 fund, a Vanguard fund, that protects them from self-harm. So it's kind of a balancing act between freedom versus security.
I think we could do one more question if anybody has one. Go over here.
Have you also observed differences in ages? Is that also a concern, not only like nationalities or their immigration status or where they came from, but also age disparity in that?
Absolutely. So, sorry. First-generation immigrants are typically, regardless of where they come from, typically have more conservative values, and they're chasing that American dream. They have more financial discipline, but there's also more distrust because the cultures are different, the language is different. And then, like myself, so first-generation American, where I'm now more, including my socks, red, white, and blue American. I've served in the U.S. Army. I'm more trusting overall of the financial systems, the financial institutions. And so the approach on how to educate somebody who is a Gen Z or a millennial versus somebody who is a traditionalist from the old country are completely different.
Thank you. Simon
Thank you.
Karmarkar.